Hello, my feline friends. This is Unikitten. In our last episode, we went to New Londonian, where there's an outpost just on the outskirts of the New Londonian spaceport. Of course, it's located in the frozen ice cap of the planet, and I forgot my winter gear. We had to go there to gather genetic material from what is considered ground zero of the terramorph population and attacks. Hadrian and her crew believe that they can use terramorph's natural enemy, the Asyles, a large four-legged bird-faced creature that was originally thought to be extinct from humans hunting it. However, they have found the species is still alive, and they think they can clone it using the same technology that created Hadrian. The other option Hadrian suggested was the use of a microbe genetically engineered to attack the terramorphs. I'm leery of releasing a microbe. What if it gets past its genetic coding and mutates? I've seen that movie. It does not end well for humankind. We set out for New Londonian and met with the outpost commander, Hatem. She briefed us and then told us that there will be some gear for us. She then made it very, very clear that if we need help, there will be 0 rescue attempts made. So, don't die. We made our way through the abandoned outpost where we were attacked by a variety of creatures, including terramorphs. We then searched through shipping yard for gene samples for the Asyles to ensure good bloodlines for cloning. We were then told to go through steam tunnels under the city to get to the spaceport in search of a terramorph sample. As we went into the tunnels, we saw some of this plant called Lazarus plant. It looks a lot like stalagmites in caves. Hadrian told us that people didn't know it was a living organism at first. The tunnels were crawling with heat leeches everywhere as well. We made our way into a room with a huge observation window. Inside the observation room, we observed a Lazarus plant in bloom. Hadrian and I watched in awe as one of the few humans to ever get to see the Lazarus plant in bloom. And then that awe turned into horror as we saw a heat leech get transformed into a terramorph before our very eyes. That's how terramorphs get everywhere in the galaxy. They latch onto the spaceships as heat leeches, traveling everywhere that ship goes, and then stay to continue to breed and grow. The process from heat leech to terramorph is slow, except where there's a Lazarus plant. That's why it takes 100 years. And supposedly, Lazarus plants only live on New Londonian. At first, we thought that Victus bombed New Londonian to protect everyone from the knowledge of what the Lazarus plant does, so it can't be weaponized. We were so wrong. He did it to kill off all of the scientists that knew, so that he would be the only one with the knowledge. We continued to the spaceport to kill the terramorph Dr. Walker wanted a specimen from and informed Hadrian her father is alive. She seemed genuinely shocked by the news. She also seems very upset by his actions. I don't know about her still, though. We'll see. Well, let's find out how deep this hole goes and go have a chat with Victus in today's episode. By the way, I somehow got a small bounty for around 700 credits. I don't know how or why I got it, though. I wonder if it's going to play a part in continued missions for the VC Vanguard. Hope they're not trying to pin it on me. Alright. Victus, here we come. You've got some explaining to do.
Lay it on me.
There's a pretty good thunderstorm going on outside, in case you might hear the rain, or the wind, or the thunder. Well, in real life, outside. I am kind of curious to see if once I land in New Atlantis, because they scan everybody who comes into the city, if they're going to try to arrest me or anything for that bounty I have. I did try to go to a bounty board to clear it, but they said that they can't clear the UC bounty. So it's interesting, I'm doing all this stuff for the UC and I have a bounty on my head for the UC. No, that's gross in there. Haven't come across like a terramorph or heat leech's breeding ground like this yet. Alright, here we are. Stay.
You'll be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving.
Well, they didn't stop us, so that's good.
No bounty.
You didn't do a very good scan. You just said I had no bounty. Okay, loading. Be done. Alright, Sarah. I guess you know about Vae Victus now. I wonder if they'll let her in. I wonder who all is involved with Vae Victus and all his stuff. If more, or if the old cabinet that decided to keep him alive, if they knew what he knew, and that was why they wanted him to stay alive. I don't know. The UC is turning out to be kind of the bad guy of the galaxy. That everybody else really was innocent. And nope, guess they're not gonna let Sarah in. Alright, Vae Victus. I kind of wonder who the other prisoners are.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah. Oh, we did, and a whole lot more. Don't play dumb. We know you were behind the attacks on New Atlantis and Tau Ceti. I don't know. Is there anything you want to tell me about your time in New Londinian? Oh, we did. We learned a lot. A whole lot more.
Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no?
We found a recording of you discussing the use of Terramorphs as a weapon. I know you're involved in attacking Tau Ceti and New Atlantis. Please stop. You murdered UC citizens, and you're going to pay for it. Now confess. Oh, I know you're involved.
Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as ludicrous as that?
We recovered a recording, an invisible weapon. You were talking about the Terramorphs. Because you're the only other person who knew that the Lazarus plant could be weaponized. Should have aimed better when you bombed Londonian. We found evidence there tying you to the attacks. Let's see. You were the only person who knew.
That's quite the claim, Captain. I hate to think what would happen if such a patently untrue statement reached the ears of the cabinet. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
more lies. Confess or I turn over what I found. Sorry, I'm telling the cabinet what we learned. Consider this your chance to come clean. I've got no plans to tell anyone. I just want to know the truth. I tend to tell everybody. So, you really don't know anything about the tax. Is that what you're claiming?
You want to hear the words then?
Yeah.
I did it. The terramorph attacks on Tau City.
Knew it.
New Atlantis. My doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I.
Who's your associate?
Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it. Use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
Because you're evil. Because you're a madman and a murderer and you live to sow death. To work on something that long, this seems personal. No better way to show the UC what a deadly weapon they have in the Lazarus plant than to use it. Associate, who have you been working with? Yeah, who have you been working
All
with?
in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble?
Because you're a madman, duh, and murderer, and you live to sow death. To work on something that long, this seems personal. And then no better way to show the UC what a deadly weapon they have in the Lazarus plant than to use it. Yeah, this seems personal.
You couldn't be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I
Like
ordered
yours?
the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
Please, no secret is so dangerous that you can justify condemning so many lives. You just said it took you years to use the plant outside Londonian. You killed them for nothing. That information should have been handed over, secured it to keep it from being used. You didn't even trust your own people in the UC?
These were the final days of the colony war, Captain. The Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. I was concerned that if word got out, the Collective could swoop down, start breeding Lazarus plants, and overrun our world with waves of terramorphs. Just like what was happening on Londinian at that very moment. Sealing off the city to prevent mass death. It was the only option that made sense at the time.
You said it took you years to use the plant outside New Londonian. The information should have been handed over, secured it to keep it from ever being used. Maybe it is better that fewer people knew about it.
It's easy to judge now. In that moment, I wasn't about to add another dangerous variable to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter. She becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis.
You?
The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
He killed himself. I knew he had contact with someone who told him I was coming. So you murdered UC citizens because of some slight against your honor? You're sick. Oh, so I'm just your cleanup crew. You must think you're very clever. Or Lace? Why does that name sound familiar? How could you have coordinated all this from here? And why the hell do you care if the UC wants you as an advisor? How did you do all that from here?
It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still,
Of course.
establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands, all without the UC realizing whom you were actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective.
So you murdered UC citizens because of some slight against you. Your
There are
Honor.
no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
They'd be honoring me for cleaning up your messes. If you're waiting for me to say thank you, we're going to be here a while. I suppose there have been some benefits to all this. What kind of honors are we talking here? Yeah. We're gonna be here a while.
I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth.
You used
And
me?
let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the cabinet,
Of course you have.
leaving out my own involvement.
Oh,
All
obviously.
I ask is that you confirm as much to the cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
I hope you've enjoyed this talk because once I tell the cabinet, it'll probably be your last. You know, I'm not sure what I'm going to tell the cabinet. Fine, I'll make sure everything is pinned on Orlays. You think I'm just going to forget the fact that you killed people to accomplish your good works? What kind of work are we talking about here? Yeah, what kind of work are we talking?
Hunting down criminals and other threats to the United Colonies. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range once this is all over. You would help me, like you did with Orlays. Track them down and keep them from doing harm to the United Colonies. Impossible, though, if the cabinet learns I'm the one responsible for the attacks.
No, I'm not sure what I'm going to tell. You know, I'm not sure what I'm going to tell the cabinet. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain. We've done something great here. Let's not squander the opportunity to do more.
Well, I don't know. I feel like he's just a madman. Working with him is gonna be bad. Oh, Let's go see what Dr. Walker and Hadrian have to say.
Personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Hey. So long. Yeah? Sure, I'm right behind you.
All right, Sarah. We've got a bunch of crap going down. I thought we would be going back to the Red Devils headquarters and not so much up here to be speaking to them, so I was a little surprised that we're speaking to them in the cabinet. Hey, Hadrian.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Awesome.
Means Ether plans your work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
Ve Victus confessed he organized the attacks from his cell. It was a man named Dr. Reginald Orlace. He perpetrated the attacks. Actually, I'm still gathering some intel. Let me get back to you. I'm gonna lie. Yeah.
Orlace? Reginald Orlace? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive. You're sure it was him?
Positive the evidence is on its way to the cabinet as we speak. What? You don't believe me? You knew Orlace? Positive. The evidence is on its way.
I don't know much about Orlace, but anyone with a sick mind like that needs to be tried for his crimes and then dealt with appropriately.
You're right, Sarah.
That's some impressive
Good thing
work.
you weren't in there on that
So
conversation.
then give us the rundown. Where's Orlace now? Were you able to bring him in?
I tried, but he took his own life instead of coming peacefully. Guy tried to kill me. Last mistake he ever made. Orlace is dead. Things went badly. Still shaken up. Rather not talk about it. I tried, but he took his own
I'm
life.
sorry to hear that. Those sorts of missions are always tough. Any idea why he might have done it? Or what he was doing with the plant?
Not sure. I never found a confession. He found the plant while searching Londonian for weapon data and chose to use it against the UC. He thought he was doing the right thing, making sure no one could ignore the Lazarus plant.
Another madman justifying butchery.
Yeah.
Well, at least he
Goes
won't be
around.
able to hurt anybody else now. Might be the best we could ask for, given the circumstances. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. Unless there were other things we needed to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs.
Nothing else on my end. Let's head in there. Which method of dealing with the terramorphs are you two leaning towards? So both approaches to clearing our worlds are effective against heat leeches. What kind of risk are there if we decide to bring back the Asylees? I'm more worried about the microbe, actually, because, yeah, microbes are not good. What method are you planning?
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker.
I don't think so.
If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid.
I
You
am
know the
too.
science. You know we can make this safe.
No.
I
you
do
can't.
know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't zero.
Exactly.
So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet wait. See if they have a preference.
I have a preference. All right, let's go head in there.
And here we go.
My preference is the Sealies because they're cute and they won't mutate like the microbe. What happens if it mutates and actually helps the terramorphs? Or it makes us terramorphs or something?
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
That's correct, ma'am. It was a deliberate attack. Yes, but don't you worry. We found the culprit. Is that second report from who I think it was? Alright, that's correct, ma'am.
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlais commit these attacks, Captain?
That report isn't the whole truth. Orlais helped, but Ve Victus organized the attacks. Yes, it was Orlais. Hadrian, I think you should tell them. I'm sorry, I need a moment to verify something. Whew. This can alter the entire course of our actions if we lie for Ve Victus. I was hoping I'd get to kill Ve Victus personally, but I guess we're gonna go down that rabbit hole.
That appears to be the case, ma'am. The captain tracked that information down just after our trip to Londinium.
Reginald Orlais? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Killed
Body
himself.
was found floating around Etheria. Report mentioned you were sent to try and bring him in, Captain. I guess that didn't go according to plan.
Ah, yes. I was told about your mission and who ordered it. Did you two suspect at the time Orlais might have been involved in the attacks?
I did not. No idea, ma'am. We just thought we were dealing with a known criminal. Just a lucky coincidence. I was surprised as all you. What are you suggesting? No idea. I didn't.
Well, it appears you were ahead of the curve. This report contains definitive evidence Orlais triggered the attacks via this Lazarus plant the captain and Major Sanan uncovered.
Simply harrowing.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable for him to have finally faced the UC's justice, it seems both of you are to be commended for ensuring he was dealt with before he could strike again. You have our thanks. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinium. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Agreed. That's the right call, ma'am. Ma'am, I believe the other factions should be involved in securing the Lazarus plant. Securing the plant isn't enough. It should be wiped out. What sorts of measures will the UC be taking to protect the Lazarus plant? I think the other factions should know about it.
Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize against us?
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
It demonstrates to the collective the UC isn't planning to secretly use this down the line. The UC doesn't exactly have the best track record. This would ensure good behavior from both sides. No, I guess you're right. I think it would demonstrate to the collective.
Indeed. Open relations at this point would be critical towards maintaining peace.
I'm glad you agree, Sarah.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the collective by sharing our state secrets?
Yes.
No,
Mr.
I want
Jerkface.
us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the collective involved in the management. Thank you for the
Awesome.
suggestion, Captain.
You're welcome.
So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one.
Well, duh.
So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam
Sealies.
President, this microbe is clearly too
No.
much of a risk. The Sealies are the safer approach.
I agree with you.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science,
No.
Madam President.
No, it's not.
It isn't dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
Deploying the Sealies is the safest route. That's my vote. Terramorphs have caused enough damage. They need to be wiped out quickly with the microbe. Do we need to do anything? Shouldn't securing the Lazarus plant be sufficient? I still had questions about the methods. I need a moment to collect my thoughts. I think the Sealies are the safest route.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
Here's hoping they'll be kept on a short leash.
That, madam, is most certainly the plan.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Woohoo!
Class
What's that?
1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
What does it mean?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam President. So long as I'm getting paid, I'm happy. What's a Class 1 citizen? Yeah, tell me.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement,
Ooh,
an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods.
nice.
And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive.
Nice. I can't wait till tell Mom and Dad. Thank you, Madam President.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Nice. Well, I had really just kind of wanted to leave it at that and then go about and become a free Star Collective citizen. But anyway, I guess we'll go talk to Commander Tuala and see what's going on with that. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to check in with some peoples. Then we got to I am still part of Constellation after all. I need to have some duties to that I need to attend to as well. And that is a nice view. Alright, now that I got the right door.
Way, Captain. Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Well, Yumi probably wants to arrest me right now since I have that bounty. But hey, I'm a Class 1 citizen. Don't you know who I am?
Informed us of your new status. Congratulations on making Class 1.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain.
Thank you, Tuala. Thank you, Commander. It's an honor. I'm just here to collect whatever it is this Class 1 thing pays. Can you tell me about what a Class 1 citizen is? It's my
No
honor.
need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount.
Nice.
And the credits should be in your accounts now.
Nice.
But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access.
Ooh, that is a nice lump sum of money. That's incredibly generous. Glad to see the UC gives credit where credit's due. Rather drink engine oil than live in New Atlantis, but at least the price is right. Where's this realty office? That's incredibly generous.
Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you?
Oh boy. I'd like to run a Vanguard mission, only ever really done the one. And they wasn't very interesting. I'm ready to take on some terramorphs. Actually, I had to start by helping out Percival with these new alien threats. I've done my duty, Commander. I think I'm going to take some time off from aliens. I think I'll do... yeah, the new alien threats kind of sound interesting, but I'm gonna... alright, I'm gonna help Percival.
Sure. You'll have all the specifics. You find yourself looking for more work, you know where to find me.
Can do, boss. Alright, I'm not gonna do that one right away. I have other things to do. Okay, my feeling friends, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do, but I think I'm gonna go check out my penthouse. When we became a citizen, they said we can, like, purchase property, but I never bothered. But, hey, free penthouse, so I'm gonna go check that out. And then after we check that out, I'm gonna end the episode there. But, penthouse? Can't wait for Mom and Dad to find out. At some point, I gotta go back to the SSNN to tell them about all of the things. Hey, Zora.
Well, well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen, you've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city.
Nice.
It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion. What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner.
Alright, I'm interested.
Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments in the city.
Maybe if we gave out free property
you're
to
all set.
veterans in
Your new
wildlife,
home's
we wouldn't
located
have
in
any
Mercury
homeless
Tower
veterans.
in the residential district. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
All right, thank you. Probably not, because I don't spend much time on planet. But thank you for everything, Zora. Now to go check out my new place. I'm gonna have to move all of my stuffed animals from Mom and Dad's house to my new place. I've got quite the collection going on there. Alright, residential. I never did go check and see if my mom and dad were okay after the Terramorph attacks. Oops. Mercury Tower.
Definitely better.
Ooh, nice and spacious. Decent kitchen. Oh. The bathroom. More space than usability. Ooh, look at this. Ooh. Another bathroom. So I got a 2-bathroom place. Oh, and a balcony. Nice. Nice view of the spaceport. Oh, look at my ship. Alright. This is pretty swank. Alright, Sarah, hi. Now I just need furniture and, paintings and stuff for my house. Oh, a teeny tiny bedroom, little closet. Oops. Another view on the other side. So I got 2 balconies and a view of the whole place. Awesome. What do you think, Sarah? We even have a window in the closet. That'd make a decent office, I think. Gonna have to put furniture in here eventually. I don't really want to do too much right now. But at least I got a place to sit down. I'll get more later. Alright. I got 2 sinks in the kitchen. That's funny. Alright. Alright, my feline friends, we're going to end episode here. Please like and subscribe to see what next adventure we go on. We have the chance to go talk to Ve Victus, and so we might end up going and doing that. And although there's a few quest lines I kind of ignored due to doing the VC Vanguard quest, so probably gonna go do some of those. I don't know yet. I have to figure that out. But we'll find out in our next episode. Have a good one.